So Alcina is an enchantress who draws her magic from some magical item. Usually it's an urn, but it can be just about anything. And her magic is in lies and illusions. So she has a habit of taking on male lovers, and then when she gets tired of them or bored or they start to get annoying, she'll use her magic to turn them into whatever, so that she doesn't have to see their ugly mugs anymore. She'll turn them into anything from a tree to an animal to a rock or even a wave on the frickin' ocean. She'll do just about anything. And her current lover is a knight named Ruggiero, who happens to be the fiancé of today's heroine. So the opera starts out with our heroine Bradamante and her friend slash former tutor, Melisso, arriving to Alcina's island. Bradamante is at this time dressed in armor, and in this armor she looks like a young man. In fact, she's specifically pretending to be her twin brother, Ricciardo. When they arrive, the first person that they meet is not Alcina, but actually her sister, Morgana. Morgana is equally as dangerous as her sister, and despite the fact that she already has a lover, Orante, she falls immediately head over heels for the handsome Ricciardo. Now, Bradamante is not interested in Morgana, but she decides to play nice. She doesn't want to get turned into an animal or anything, so she's not outright flirtatious, but she's just kind of trying to be nice and not make Morgana mad. Bradamante and Melissa soon make it to Alcina's palace, where they see that, yes, indeed, Alcina has taken Ruggiero on as her lover. Now, Bradamante is really upset to realize upon talking to Ruggiero that he actually doesn't remember her. He does seem to be familiar with Ricciardo and Melissa, but does not seem to actually have any feelings for her at this point. He's so deep under Alcina's spell that he can't be away from her for more than a couple of seconds without being upset. In fact, she actually leaves and tells him to give their guests a little tour. And he gets all sad, like a kicked puppy. He's like, "Oh, careful, JJ. Oh." He's like, "No, how can I be away from Alcina? If I can't see her, if I can't be with her, what's the point of existence?" It is actually kind of creepy how obsessed and dependent on Alcina he is under her spell. It really feels like a puppy that just needs to be around their mistress or else they don't know what to do with themselves. It's like major separation anxiety, and it is weird. So while Bradamante and Melissa are trying to kind of scold Ruggiero and remind him of all of his duties, his responsibilities, his fiancée that he had left behind, and he just doesn't seem to be getting it. He doesn't really seem to remember or at least care about anything now that he's under Alcina's spell. Meanwhile, this little boy wanders in, Alberto, and he's like, "Hello, have you seen my daddy? I haven't seen him in so long. I miss him." "Oh, what's his name? Who is he?" "Oh, it's Astolfo." "Oh, Astolfo. That's my cousin." Yeah. Astolfo is Bradamante's cousin.
Ruggiero
is not the first one in the family, apparently, to have gotten with Alcina. Bradamante's own cousin was one of Alcina's lovers, and she presumably must have turned him into something. They don't know what, but what are they supposed to tell the boy? They just kind of wish him luck, and Alberto kind of wanders off to keep looking for his dad. Meanwhile, Orante, Morgana's lover, has found out that Morgana is now in love with Ricciardo. And oh, he is big mad. He comes in and challenges Ricciardo to a duel. Bradamante and Orante have a little fight for a moment, but Morgana comes in and breaks it up, scolds Orante, and kind of sends him on his way. But before he does, in his anger, he kind of takes it out on Ruggiero, telling him exactly what Alcina does to all of her lovers, saying like, oh, she'll get tired of you just like she did with everyone else, and then she'll turn you into an animal, or like a tree, or a wave on the ocean. She'll turn you into something awful, and she will forget all about you. I can tell Alcina's in love with Ricciardo. She's going to replace you with him, and you'll be gone. Then he storms off. Now, he is obviously upset at this news. He's like, what do you mean? What? She's not going to forget about me. What do you mean replace me? With this guy? Why? And so, he actually goes up to Alcina and he's like, you're not going to replace me, are you? You're not in love with Ricciardo. How could you do this to me? You are so unfaithful. And she actually tries to comfort him here. And she's like, oh, no, I promise. I'm not in love with Ricciardo. You are my one and only. I only love you. In fact, I'll turn Ricciardo into whatever you want me to. I promise. And here, Bradamante actually follows Ruggiero and kind of butts into this conversation, which honestly is just making things worse. And he's just getting more angry. And meanwhile, Bradamante over here, her heart is just breaking. She's having to watch him be absolutely wooed by this other woman when he doesn't even seem to remember her. He doesn't recognize her. He actually believes that she's her brother. And she's so upset by this that she actually tries to reveal to him, hey, I'm your fiancé. I'm Bradamante. I'm not Ricciardo. And of course, Meliso interjects immediately, and he's like, oh, no, this is Ricciardo. This is not Bradamante. Come on, Ricciardo, why would you tease like that? No need, right? This just confuses Ruggiero so much. His poor brain is hurting from how confused he is. He's going through a lot right now. Meanwhile, Alcina shares with her sister that she plans to turn Ricciardo into an animal to make Ruggiero feel better. And of course, Morgana, who is now in love with Ricciardo, aka Bradamante, she's horrified. She doesn't want that to happen. So, ultimately, she ends up kind of betraying her sister here to go and warn Ricciardo and says, hey, you need to leave now. My sister is planning to turn you into an animal to please her current lover. Like, run, please, leave, get away. And Bradamante just tells her, I can't leave. I already love someone on this island, and I'd rather be here with them than run away. And now, Morgana here misunderstands, thinking that Bradamante is talking about her. She thinks that this strong, handsome, young-looking knight is staying, despite the danger, for her. She kind of likes that. Since Ruggiero does not really want to speak to Ricciardo right now, Meliso is the one to approach him. Meliso manages to bring Ruggiero back to himself by having him wear this magical ring that allows him to see through all of Alcina's illusions and breaks her spell over him. Now that he's actually able to see through all of these illusions, he's really disturbed. He sees the island for the hideous, barren desert populated by monsters that it really is. And honestly, he's horrified. The spell is broken. He's no longer obsessed with her. Now that the spell is broken, now that he sees everything for what it is, he realizes, oh, even though I know this is all fake, Alcina and this beautiful island will haunt me for the rest of my life. never gonna forget this. In fact, he's so messed up that when Bradamante does show up, he recognizes her, yes, but he assumes it's another one of Alcina's illusions and just doesn't believe it's her. He is just not sure what is real, what is fake anymore. He has no idea. He's still trying to sort this out. His head is reeling. Poor guy, genuinely. And he still doesn't really have a lot of time to process this because Alcina comes in and she's like, I will transform Ricciardo into an animal for you. Right here, right now. I will prove my love to you. I only want you. And Ricciardo, good on him here actually, he manages to think pretty quickly despite everything going on in this moment. And he kind of sweet talks her like, oh, you don't need to prove yourself to me. I know you love me more than anything. And this is about the point where we start to realize, oh, Alcina actually loves him. She's not just using him as a play toy. And she actually starts to be shown a fair bit more sympathetically from here on. Now, shortly after, Orante kind of starts to put 2 and 2 together, and he's realizing that Ricciardo, Melisso, and Ruggiero are all in on something together. He doesn't know what exactly they're planning, but he knows they're up to something. And at this point, Alcina and Morgana realize that they are being deceived. And Alcina tries to use her magic to summon some evil spirits to stop them from leaving. But remember, her magic relies on lies and illusions, falsehoods. With true love in her heart, she's not able to use her magic to stop Ruggiero, and her spell fails. Now aware of Ricciardo's deceit, Morgana tries to reunite with Orante. And Orante, the poor man, is still deeply infatuated with her. He does truly love her. He is devoted. But despite how hard it is, he turns her away because she had just moved on. She had just tossed him away so carelessly. And he just wasn't ready to accept her back. Now, at this point, Ruggiero is back to being his normal heroic self. Meanwhile, Alcina here, she's really sad. She sings for oblivion. She just kind of wants to die, or at least, cease existing, because she just doesn't want to feel anymore. This true love, now that he has left her, is just destroying her inside. And honestly, she kind of wants to make someone else feel this pain too. So when the little boy, Alberto, kind of pops in again, still looking for his dad, she tells him, hey, why don't you defend yourself against that lion over there? Alberto turns to look at the lion, and when he looks into its eyes, he realizes, wait a minute, that's my dad! That's my dad! I'd recognize him anywhere! Alcina tries to press the issue, and she's like, just take one of your arrows. Kill it. Get rid of it. Destroy it. I'm ordering you to do it. He's like, no, you cruel woman. Now, honestly, I like the Italian word that's used here. Barbara. He's like, Barbara, Barbara. It's so fun to listen to, but he's like, cruel woman, how dare you try to get me to kill my father? I would sooner stab you in the chest with one of my arrows. How dare you? At this point, Alberto and his father, who is still a lion, by the way, wander off into the forest. I mean, Alberto can't turn his dad back into a human himself. Well, cat dad is better than no dad, so they leave together. At this point, Ruggiero and Bradamante realize that they have to destroy Alcina's magical item. Again, It's usually an urn, but it can be just about anything. It is where she draws all of her magic from. So if they can destroy it, she can never hurt anyone again. Now Alcina begs and pleads for them not to destroy it. Bergerac, he doesn't care, he has no sympathy, and he crushes it. Now that with her magical object destroyed, Morgana and Alcina are defeated. So that means that everyone on the island who was transformed into a tree, an animal, anything, they're all turned back from what she made them into their true selves. So now, sweet little Oberto finally gets to have a proper reunion with his father, Astolfo, in his true human form. Everyone's singing and happy, and Alcina and Morgana, they'll never hurt anyone again. The end!